Hey there guys, gals, non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I review books and bookish things. I upload on alternating Thursdays with a few random ones thrown in here and there. So as it is the start of June, I thought we would go over my May to be read list as well as my June to be read list and see how I did last month and see what I'm excited for this month. So let's get into it. Okay, so May, I had quite the hefty list of books that I wanted to read. I had 15 books that I set out to read. So the first book I read in May, or rather that I read and completed in May, was Dragon Fruit, which I gave 5 stars. It was absolutely brilliant. I highly recommend it. I'm still reading as of this time, but I'm like very close to the end. I'm trying not to read ahead because as I'm filming this, Assistant to the Villain is the one that we are reading over on my Patreon for book club, and we're discussing through the 49th chapter tonight, and then on the 30th we'll be discussing through the end of the book. So as I'm filming this, that's what's going on. So I haven't finished that one yet, but I am so close. And as soon as the live stream is done, I will devour the end of that book. So it's coming. Then we had Wellness, which this was a Book of the Month Club pick a while back. And I did not like the characters at all. I did not like the story, the whole slice of life, interior monologue kind of thing that was going on. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't at all. I did a short review with just a thumbs up, thumbs down, and this one got a thumbs down from me. So I am currently reading The Daughter of Dr. Moreau. I'm over halfway through, and I will have this one finished any day now. So that one I'm still working on. And then we've got The Da Vinci Code, which this one also got a thumbs down from me. Every scene felt like it should have ended one sentence or so earlier. At least one sentence earlier. There's one point where one of the bad guys is talking to another bad guy and he's like, "Oh no, tell me what's going on." And so he did. You don't need that line of "and so he did." You don't need that. You can cut that. It feels like he needed a better editor, a more ruthless editor. The T in LGBT. This one is an ARC review. It is out now. Utterly fantastic. It's Jamie Rains, aka Jamie Dodger, over here on YouTube. His as well as other people's stories of coming out as trans, realizing they're trans, and helpful and practical advice for that. So it's part memoir, part guide to coming out and realizing that you're trans and stuff. It's really, really good. I highly recommend it. I will link the video for it up above here. Then we have A Rivalry of Hearts. This one was an advanced reader copy. It comes out on June 6th, and I absolutely love this book. I fell in love with the characters. As soon as I'm done with my no-buy, and I've read some more books, you can see the bookshelf behind me there, if I can figure out how to get out of the way. I'm making progress on that bookshelf. That's my mainly to-be-read bookshelf. There's some books that I have read on there, but it's mainly to-be-reads on that bookshelf. And so I'm making progress. The only problem is I have another bookcase the same size that is packed with to-be-read books. So I'm trying to get through books. Trying really hard to get through all my books. If I can keep on the pace that I'm trying to do, I will buy some new books come August. That does not include any books that I've pre-ordered, because there are quite a few that I've pre-ordered. Then we have Queens of Geek. I checked this one out through the library system on the Libby app. It was fine. It's a 3-star. It's very forgettable to me. It wasn't badly written. But it wasn't great either. Like, it's just average. It's just an average book. It's yep, that's a book. Except not a thumbs up. It's kind of one of these situations. Counting the Cost, which is Jill Duggar Dillard's book. I finished that one. It was hard to get through, but really interesting. The amount of brainwashing that poor girl and her family went through is just horrifying. Yeah. Highly recommend it if you're at all interested in that whole family fiasco thing going on there. Then A Bluestocking's Guide to Decadence. This one is an arc. I didn't do a video review of this one, but it is, I did do a review over on my website, gmpotter.com. And this one is a 4 stars. It's really good. It's just not as good as A Rivalry of Hearts. And in ways it left me wanting more, but in worse ways it left me wanting less. I didn't love the main characters. I loved the side characters and the background characters a lot, but the 2 main leads I just did not like at all. Like, as people, I didn't like them. So, and then I read Atlas Shrugged. I don't want to talk about that one. And then listened to an audiobook, again from the Libby app, Finding Mr. Perfect. This is the sequel to A Cat Cafe Christmas, which I have but haven't read yet. This one was really cute. It was really fun. It was just a fun romp. Then, sorry, it's very light pen ink. Heart of Darkness, by Joseph Conrad, and that one was amazing. Trigger warning, heavy use of the N-word, but it is a critique of Europe's involvement in Africa. It's a critique of how they were treating people. So it's used specifically and very measured, but there is liberal use of the N-word, so if that's something that would bother you in reading, just be advised. And then we have The Baby Plan by fellow YouTuber Emma Bennett. This one was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. It was the perfect in-between heavier reads book to read. This one, A++ thumbs up. Ignore that. I have cats, as you can see. A++ thumbs up. Great book. Absolutely loved it. So, yeah, that's where I am for my May list. I was going to read Ponzinomics, and I just ran out of time. So, I'm not going to roll Ponzinomics over into June. I'm going to wait a little while because I've got a couple other big books that I want to read in June, and so Ponzinomics will just have to wait. So, for June to be read, most of these I have in physical copy. There's one that I got on the Libby app that I'm really excited for. I just got approved, like my hold just got turned into a borrow situation, so I'm going to start listening to that one on June 1st, because it is a June book. I will not finish it in May if I start it in May, but if I start it in June, I will definitely finish it in June. But starting off, we have Ebony Gate, The Phoenix Horde, Julia V. and Ken Babel. This one was recommended to me by both a viewer and a family member. And the blurb on it is, Emiko's song belongs to one of the 8 premier magical families of the world, but Emiko never needed any magic, because she is the blade of the Song clan. Or was, until she's drenched in blood in the middle of the market in China, surrounded by bodies and the scent of blood and human waste as a lethal perfume. The butcher of Beijing now lives a quiet life in San Francisco, importing antiques, but when his Shimigami, a god of death itself, calls a family blood debt, Emiko must recover the ebony gate that holds back the hungry ghosts of Yomi Underworld, or forfeit her soul as the anchor. What's the retired assassin to do but save the city by the bay from the army of the dead? It just sounds amazing. Very much looking forward to this one. This is not my copy. This is a family member's copy, so I will be taking the dust jacket off to read it so I don't damage the dust jacket. But yes, and then this one was lent to me by a family member. I have had it too long. I need to read it and give it back. But it kept getting covered by other books in my to-be-read stack. And that is The Benevolent Society of Ill-Mannered Ladies by Alison Goodman. And this one is just... It's a novel of mystery and adventure, smart and sassy. And it just... A high society amateur detective at the heart of Regency London uses her wits and invisibility as an old maid to protect other women in this new and fiercely feminist historical mystery series. It just sounds fun. I love Regency. Did not love Bridgerton. Don't get me started on Bridgerton. I wasn't a fan of the books. I tried to watch the first season and I just couldn't get into it for many reasons. One of which being the fitting of the costumes of Penelope Featherington, because they didn't fit right, and it's like, I get that this is historical fantasy, but at this time clothes weren't off the rack, they were built to suit, and this doesn't suit, it looks like something off the rack. And so, it may be a case of them trying to tell story through her costumes, but they chose a very poor way to do it, that in the TV show took me out of the series even more than I was already out of the series because I didn't enjoy the books, I didn't enjoy the source material. And I know they changed a lot of things between the books and the series, but... no. And then I have this one that I just got. Yes, I bought a book when I'm on a no-buy. I don't feel bad. I refuse to feel bad. And that is... Pockets, An Intimate History of How We Keep Things Close by Hannah Carlson. And this one, I already have another book on pockets, which, let me grab it. And that is The Pocket, A Hidden History of Women's Lives. This one was really good. It's the historical significance and impact of pockets in women's clothing. And then this one is supposed to be somewhat more modern. So, very much looking forward to that. Then we have the book that I checked out through the Libby app, which is Diavola by Jennifer Marie Thorne. And this one is a kind of a gothic mystery book. In part, I was swayed by the cover, because the cover looks really good. And it made a lot of people's TBR list for this year, and so I thought I would jump on the bandwagon. So this one... I don't know where my hopes are for this one. And that is Exquisite Corpse by Poppy Z. Bright. This one is... yeah, this one... to serial killer Andrew Compton, murder is an art, the most intimate art. After feigning his own death to escape from prison, Compton makes his way to the United States with the ambition of bringing his art to new heights. Tortured by his own perverse desires, drawn to possess and destroy young boys, Compton inadvertently joins forces with Jay Byrne, a dissolute playboy who has pushed his art to the limit even Compton hasn't previously imagined. Together, Compton and Byrne set their sights on an exquisite young Vietnamese-American runaway, Tran, who they deem to be the perfect victim. Swiftly moving from the grimy streets of London's Piccadilly Circus to the decadence of New Orleans' French Quarter, Poppy Z. Bright dissects the landscape of torture and invites us into the mind of a killer. I've heard from some people that this book is really, really good, and if you like horror, if you like body horror, if you like kind of more perverse murder, like a la American Psycho, the book, not the movie, this is really good. I've heard from other people that it's just wretched excess. So, we will see. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I bought it because it was on sale a couple years ago, and I'm getting around to reading it now. Then we have Modern Divination by Isabel Agajanian. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. I believe this is an indie book. I'm not sure 100%, but I believe this is an indie book. Some things you destroy because you love. Some things you destroy because you love. Aurelia Schwartz has spent 23 years maintaining the equilibrium between her carefully curated human life and the magical one she endures in secret. With a devoted best friend and top marks at a prestigious university, everything has She has everything one could possibly want neatly within her grasp, except her gift of green magic has begun to fade, and if that wasn't enough to upset the balance in her life, a fateful run-in with another power-hungry witch with a penchant for stolen magic has threatened to bring it all to ruin. Cast into an unexpected allegiance with her dreadfully arrogant classmate, Aurelia goes into hiding among a peculiar family of witches where she discovers the secret to their safety requires breaking the rules she followed all her life. Make no promises, tell no one what you are, and never stay the night. So, it seemed really fun. I don't remember if this one was recommended to me on Twitter by the author themselves or how I came into possession of this book. It is an indie book, but I'm excited to read it. I've heard good things. So, and then we have How Music Works by David Byrne. David Byrne, of course, the lead singer and founder of the Talking Heads. An in-depth of how music works and, like, how chords are built and the effects that chords and tones and all this stuff comes together to create the experience of music. Of how all of these different things layer together to make music happen. And what is music and what isn't music, and what your brain perceives as music and what it perceives as noise to one person and not to another. It's a very in-depth analysis of music. It's a layperson's advanced music theory class in a book form. So I'm very excited to read it. I got this one a while back. It's been on that shelf behind me for some time. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then the last one, this is June's book club pick over on my Patreon. Members who spend $5 or $8 a month are invited to the book club where we read a book together over the course of a month and we discuss it on Sundays. So this one is Wayward by Amelia Hart. This was another Book of the Month club pick. This was March of last year's. I was in a bit of a reading slump last year, and my Book of the Month club books kept coming, and I didn't keep reading. So I'm working my way through the backlog right now. Yeah, and then whatever books I happen to get on Audible, not sponsored, or Libby, or through the actual physical library, or if I finish all of these books early, which may happen, may not, because some of them are a little thick. How Music Works is kind of thick. Yeah, more books may be added onto this. I'll keep track of those. But yeah, that is how I did in May and what I'm planning to do in June. What books are you excited for? Excited to read this summer? Are there any books that you're really, really excited for? Any books that you're kind of lukewarm on? Let me know in the comments down below. If you want spicier book reviews, be part of the book club, find out about the novels I'm writing, feel free to join me on Patreon. It helps support the channel and support my writing habit. I also have my website, gmpotter.com, where I post little book reviews as well as short fiction periodically. So feel free to check those out. The links are down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!